when you have this idea for Vertiseit, is it one particular moment where you have the sort of aha moment, or is it an idea that sort of grows over time, and then it's like the timing aspect that you say, okay, now is the right time to try this idea, or how did it that look like?
Actually, it was I was the purchasing manager in this company, and we had the store manager for one of the stores. We It was close to the headquarters, so we ate breakfast every day at the cafeteria. So we discussed a lot of, we were both mutually interested in business, and so we discussed a lot of business ideas at the time. So the first thing we decided upon was that we need to do something ourselves. And we had a lot of ideas we discussed during a year, I think, but it was one thing that like sticked to us. And that was that the digital transformation that just started. We said that this need to affect thing that is outside the computer. And in 2007, it was like the people didn't have iPhones in Sweden, so so but we really saw that this will have an effect. So we started to work in for a half a year to do the planning, to like write the business plan, go to the bank, and try to find financing, and then. And then we just came to a point that we said, this is nothing we could do during the weekends. This is 100% or not. So we took as big loan as we could on the bank. I sold my car. we quit our jobs, and just went from there. Three guys in my apartment.
That's very, very interesting. I mean, so during this time, we also have the financial crisis coming to us as well. Did that
Yeah,
have an impact at all or not? Because you guys are in Sweden and you are not really that, affected by the financial crisis that
it
generally started in US.
definitely had. It could be a long story, but the good thing was that we secured like financing um, before like end 2007. So we took a loan of 1 million Swedish crown from Almi, it's like a state backed, and 1 million from the local bank, where we took 100% guarantee ourselves, private. And if that would have been like 6 months later, it wouldn't have been possible at that time. So that was a good timing. But also after a year when we started to get business, then it was hard to get finance at that stage, even though we actually were profitable the first year. We had a hard time like financing the company after that, because it was still really like freezed when it comes to the opportunity to take up loans. But we managed to solve that as well.
So let's talk about product market fit. Obviously, you were going in the retail industry. You had this, okay, digitalization. Obviously, that's a massive trend. And it's the famous saying of that you need to have a niche, target a niche first, and then you can grow the market with that niche. But how did that journey look for you guys?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. We um, actually the only thing that we saw that was that like digital communication will impact how we interact with each other and how we communicate in the public space. So from the beginning, we were looking at so many different verticals, but the first thing we went into to take a niche was digital out of home. It's outdoor advertising. It was good because people started to put up like LED screens that they imported from Asia, but we said we want to do the backbone, we want to do the booking system, how to price campaign, how to schedule based on share of voice, how to calculate the reach, all of this, how to like configure and quote. And after 3 years, we said we have 80% market share. But what we didn't tell was that the market was only 150 screens in Sweden, so it was like the worst market to be like the number one in. So at that point, we needed to decide: should we go international with digital out of home business, or should we broaden into other verticals? And for many reasons, we choose to broaden because we were too small and it was too big differences between the market, how you worked with like measure those type of campaigns. So we did a lot of verticals, public, corporate, retail, advertising, and 5 years later, we actually have 85% of our revenue from a customer meeting. So then we focused on retail where we are today. So now we do digital in-store solutions to really enhance the customer experience in store, to bridge the customer journey from online to like in person in the store.
Is there any lessons from landing those first few clients? Because obviously that's a very hard task to do when you're just starting out, I guess.
Yeah, like we really built the company from like stone by stone. So we like been profitable the whole journey. We like really bootstrapped strategy. We took like the local pizzeria as one of our first customers. So we went from like the local pizzeria to Porsche globally and everything in there in between. And we also like I was 24 years old when I started the company, so I think it's also a journey where you need to grow the business, where you grow yourself as an entrepreneur and grow the team and your skills. And so I think it's a lot of good things with growing a company over time, and also to always try to be profitable in of course, there are arguments where you need to invest a lot of money, take the market, like Spotify, for example. But in most cases, at least, I think it's better to do business that are profitable, because in so many cases, it's really hard to change from like not being profitable and only like focus on market share, and try to change that back to a model where you are profitable would be really, really hard.